Have you ever wondered if that delicious and traditional hotel breakfast could actually be aging your body faster than it should? Golden croissants, fluffy cakes, colorful and seemingly natural jams, everything seems designed to start the day with pleasure. But behind this harmless appearance, it could be a dangerous trap for those over 60. Are you eating healthily, or are you unknowingly accelerating the deterioration of your body? What you're about to discover now may surprise you. Many elderly people report constant fatigue, body aches, difficulty concentrating. And they have no idea that this could be directly linked to what they put on their plate first thing in the morning. Have you ever experienced this? Have you ever felt exhausted? Even after a good night's sleep? Stay with me until the end, because in the next few minutes, we'll reveal how these typical hotel foods, which many consider harmless, could be silently damaging your health and what you can do to change that right now. What if without realizing it, you are starting your day with exactly the foods that are most detrimental to your healthy aging? The good intention of enjoying that hearty breakfast could be costing your body dearly, especially after the age of 60, when your metabolism no longer works the same way and each food choice weighs more heavily. And that is why this video exists, to help you see what no one has told you until now. If this topic resonates with you, if at some point in your life you have suspected that your diet could be doing you harm, even though it doesn't seem like it,
leave a comment below.
Are trying to change, because this strengthens our exchange and shows that you are not alone on this journey. And if this type of content helps you, informs you, or makes you reflect, like the video now, because it makes all the difference for the channel to continue growing and reaching more people who need to hear this message. Oh, and take the opportunity to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos with more alerts and practical tips for taking care of your health. Now, pay attention, because from now on we're going to reveal exactly what happens inside your body when you consume these foods every day. Now I want to go even deeper into this topic, because what's behind these typical hotel foods goes far beyond taste and appearance. When you see a warm croissant with that golden crust and buttery aroma, your brain immediately associates it with the idea of pleasure, comfort, and reward. The same goes for fluffy cakes or that shiny jam that looks like it's made with fresh fruit. But the hidden truth is that these foods are designed to trick your senses. And when you're in a phase of life where your body demands more care, this becomes a much bigger problem than it seems. These products, which are almost always ultra-processed, contain a dangerous combination of refined sugar, white flour, and hydrogenated fats. These are ingredients that silently inflame your body. They don't cause an immediate impact like a fall or a fever, but they act day after day, sabotaging your energy, the elasticity of your skin, your mental disposition, and even the clarity of your reasoning. It's as if you were feeding a hidden enemy inside your own body. When you consume these types of foods frequently, you are fueling an invisible process that accelerates cellular aging. Studies have shown that elderly people with diets rich in simple carbohydrates have a significantly higher risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases, such as Alzheimer's. And it doesn't stop there. Insulin resistance, caused by excess sugar, can trigger or worsen type 2 diabetes. And where does it all start? With something as seemingly innocent as a hotel breakfast? And here comes an important question about mentality. We often grow up believing that tasty food has to be loaded with sugar or fat, that pleasure at the table lies in excess. However, as the years go by, the price of this illusion becomes higher. Changing this perception is not easy. It involves decisions, awareness, and a new way of looking at your body. Because aging well is not about giving up flavor, it's about knowing what truly sustains your vitality. Now tell me something. After hearing all this, do you still see these foods the same way? Write in the comments, that makes sense to me. Just so I know we're on this journey together, now I want to show you what's hidden behind that fruit. Jam that seems so innocent on the breakfast table. You look at the label and see words like traditional, natural, sometimes even homemade. But behind this welcoming image, there's a hidden truth that few people know. Many of these jams are, in practice, real bombs of refined sugar, glucose syrups, colorings, and preservatives. And the worst part, in just one spoonful, you could be consuming more sugar than in a whole slice of industrial cake. The impact of this, especially for those over 60, is deeper than you might imagine. When sugar enters the bloodstream in excess, it not only increases the risk of diabetes and inflammation, it also accelerates skin aging, reduces natural collagen production, and impairs essential bodily functions such as sleep and reasoning. A seemingly harmless sweet treat can be responsible for those sleepless nights, the fatigue that sets in early in the morning, or even the joint pain that arises without explanation. Sugar, in this case, is silent, sneaky, and that is why it is so dangerous. And it's not about demonizing the pleasure of eating. The real transformation begins when we start to look more consciously at what we are sold as healthy. Many of these choices are not made by you. They are created by an industry that knows the ins and outs of human behavior and knows exactly how to stimulate desires, especially when we are fragile or seeking comfort. That's where the trap lies, in the idea that just because it comes in a pretty jar or on a colorful label, it is safe. This is a journey of changing your mindset. Every spoonful, every meal, is a decision that adds up over time. Aging doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time, for better or for worse. And when you realize this, you gain power. Power of choice, of self-care, of longevity. Comment here, I'm on this journey too, just so I know that this content is really reaching you. Now, I want to invite you to reflect on something that most of us have never questioned, the idea of a perfect breakfast. From an early age, we have been conditioned to believe that starting the day with white bread, cake, margarine, and jam is synonymous with health, care, and even love. It was what our mothers lovingly put on the table. What was shown on television and commercials? What hotels offer as a welcome courtesy? But behind this seemingly harmless tradition lies a hidden truth, a sequence of food choices that, over time, takes a heavy toll, especially for those who are at the stage of life when their bodies need more support and less aggression. What happens is that this type of meal, rich in simple and ultra-processed carbohydrates, triggers glucose spikes early in the morning. Your body, still recovering from the overnight fast, is bombarded with an excess of sugar that demands a quick response from the pancreas. This generates a rebound effect, too much energy for a short period, followed by a sudden drop, which is accompanied by tiredness, irritation, and often even more hunger, which feeds a silent cycle of binging and exhaustion. And that's how the day begins, with an illusion of vigor. But with real and cumulative impacts on your vitality, studies from Harvard Medical School have shown that high glycemic diets can, in fact, reduce life expectancy. And we're not talking about occasional excesses, but habits repeated daily for years. The big revelation here is that the damage rarely shows itself immediately. It builds up silently. One day you feel unusually tired. The next, joint pain, loss of concentration, and a loss of strength. And all of this can be rooted in the choices that seem most innocent. That's why this conversation goes beyond food. It touches on transforming your mindset, because it takes courage to question what we've been taught our whole lives, and even more so to make new decisions that break old patterns. This is the backstage of real change. It starts small, with a closer look, sincere questioning, a new beginning every morning. Write in the comments, that makes sense to me, if this reflection touched you in any way. Now I want to take you through a simple but powerful image. Think of your body as an engine that has traveled thousands of miles throughout its life. It can still work very well, but it needs a purer, lighter fuel that respects its limits and values what can still be experienced. When, instead, this engine receives the equivalent of adulterated fuel every day, such as industrialized croissants, cakes with a high sugar content, and artificial jams, the damage may not be immediate, but it is profound. Little by little, this body begins to show signs of fatigue, wear and tear, and imbalance. The most challenging thing is that many times these signs are confused with the normal of aging, when in fact they are a direct reflection of the daily decisions made at the table. What few people realize is that the continued consumption of these foods affects everything from cell function to your emotional state. Your body starts to produce more free radicals, molecules that cause premature aging. Your immune system, which naturally slows down over time, becomes even more vulnerable. And your tissues, including bones, muscles, and joints, start to deteriorate more easily. It's a silent process that progresses without fanfare, but it has a huge impact on your quality of life. It's not just about aesthetics or test results. It's about autonomy, lucidity, energy to seize the day, the desire to get out of bed and live life with ease. The hidden truth here is that many people associate this wear and tear with the passing of the years, as if there were nothing to be done. But there is, and it all starts with a new perspective on what you consume. The journey to aging well does not involve miracle formulas, but rather awareness. Changing eating habits is not just about changing ingredients, it is about changing your mindset. It is about valuing your time in life from now on. It is small decisions, made every day, that define how you will feel tomorrow, next week, or in the coming years. And understanding this is like opening a door that many people have never had the courage to face. Comment here. I'm on this journey too. If you felt that this reflection touched something inside you, now I want to go even deeper into this subject because it's time to talk about something essential. It's not about deprivation, but about transformation. Many people believe that in order to age well, they need to give up all the pleasures at the table. But this is a mistaken and limiting idea. The true path lies in intelligent substitutions that respect your palate, but also provide your body with the right nutrients to continue functioning with strength, balance, and vitality. It is possible, yes, to maintain the breakfast ritual, to smell the aroma of freshly prepared food, to savor it with pleasure. But now with choices that favor your health and your journey to longevity, swapping your buttery croissant for whole wheat. Naturally leavened bread isn't a punishment, it's a decision. It's filling, has more fiber, stabilizes blood sugar levels, and even helps your intestines work better, which directly impacts your immunity and even your mental state. And that shiny jam that used to be loaded with sugar can easily give way to mashed fruit with chia seeds. Simple, natural, and full of real benefits. You can keep the sweet touch in balance. A homemade cake made with oats, coconut oil, and stayed. Coconut oil and stayed. A little sugar, for example, brings comfort without taking a heavy toll on your body. Little by little, these substitutions become part of your routine. And that's when the most important change happens, when they stop being an effort and become a habit. This is the foundation of a lighter life, where you understand that you're not just feeding your body, but making choices that are aligned with who you want to be in the coming years. Because every decision at the table has an impact that goes far beyond just the flavor of that moment. It shapes your energy, your mental clarity, and your autonomy. And the more you understand this, the more freedom you gain. Freedom to live well, to wake up feeling refreshed, to look at yourself in the mirror with pride in your discipline. Aging vigorously is not luck, it is construction. And this construction begins on the plate, in the small daily decisions, which ultimately define how much life you will put into your years. If you've made it this far, it's because this content spoke to you in some way. And that already says a lot about your willingness to take better care of yourself, make more conscious choices, and transform your routine with more ease and purpose. So take advantage of this moment and subscribe to the channel here. You'll always find content that respects your journey and helps you move forward with more clarity and energy. Oh, and leave a comment below with the phrase, "I'm with you until the end," just so I know you've stuck with me until now. This strengthens this exchange between us even more. If this video made sense to you, leave a like. It's a simple way to support and allow this message to reach more people. And if you want to continue in this same vibe of discoveries in healthcare, there's a video here on the side that complements this subject. Click and continue with me there.